When I first heard about it was, in fact, that there was this money available to install a rain garden. And there was certainly, I would say, a learning curve on all parts at the college, because what is a rain garden? What is this about? And is it going to cost us money? And we were very happy to know that it was not actually going to cost us anything.
And so we kind of trained, if you will, the students. We introduced the idea of green infrastructure and the value of green infrastructure and reducing stormwater runoff and the attendant pollutant problems that storm runoff causes, and how rain gardens are one type of green infrastructure measure that could be installed in various areas to reduce local water pollution.
A main concept in stormwater management is what we call the first flush, and basically that means that the first inch or so of rainfall is what's going to flush most of the urban pollutants off of impervious surfaces. So a well-designed stormwater management practice will capture that first flush or that first inch of rainfall runoff.
Of course, this fit in perfectly to the whole situation of the stormwater management for the college, so we're happy about that.
Yeah, we tried to make it look visually appealing, so we thought that since the water was going to flow into the garden, that doing a dry stream bed look would be the natural way to make it look. When you're working with a rain garden, you want plants that can tolerate periods of wetness. Typically, it'll stay wet for 24 to 48 hours. But on the other side of the scale, you want plants that can tolerate dry periods when there is no rain. So you need plants that are just a little tougher that can tolerate both wet and dry conditions. We tried here to use mostly native plants. The native plants are more tolerant of the local conditions for the area. They're also less prone to insect and disease problems, and they're also a food source for the native insects.
Exactly a year ago, on Columbus Day last year, we were able to start the project.
Start to finish, 12 hours one day, and I think we worked a half a day the following day to finish up the sod. So a completion maybe of 16 hours with 3 guys.
One of the other key aspects of this practice here that makes it a little bit different from some rain gardens is that it's a little bit more engineered in terms of the soil and the piping that's underneath it. If you have a good natural soil, then you can build a rain garden by just simply excavating out a shallow depression in the yard, and the water will naturally drain out of that soil in a 24 to 48 hour period. But if the soils are too tight textured, if they have too much clay and silt in them, then we need to help that along.
The first thing we had to consider was the dirt quality of what was here, the native dirt. So what we did was we brought a lot of soil from somewhere else, a sandy loam and organic material, and mixed it together to get this project to perk right.
The maintenance of it is not a big issue, I would say. I think the important thing is that somebody kind of keeps an eye on it and initiates cleanups or weeding when that is needed. So I would say an hour a month maybe. We get some mulch, which is supplied by the college, and we mulch it over every once in a while. We add plants, and of course it is still so new that we're still going to be adding plants. It's like any other regular garden in terms of upkeep and maintenance.
There's several great benefits to this, having this rain garden installed here. It's in a very visible location where there's a lot of traffic from student and college employees, so it's very visible. Obviously it's a great place to minimize the runoff that is generated on these paved surfaces here. And the other great thing about having this installed again so quickly after the evaluation was done is it gave the students a chance to really see their initial efforts kind of come to fruition.
After it was installed, people were very excited about it, and still come around when we're out here working on it asking, what is this exactly? And there's always, every time we're here, somebody asks about what it is, and it worked out. I will say we were very happy.